Hi everybody, welcome to Masks Arcane, issue 5. This is our ongoing mask campaign set in a sort of vertical comic style setting, set in a fictional city called Crescent City, which has vibes of Gothic Deep South, Paris, New Orleans, all around it. There is the hidden world where those who are magic and supernatural normally exist, and then there is the more superheroic world that others might exist in, where one of our characters, fathers, graces the universe with their mystical presence. Last week, the team stayed at home, which is good because this is in lockdown. They all had masks on. There was just these zombies and this undead guy and all sorts of things went wrong. But the team got along just fine without Ash to help them deal with the personal conflicts. But we are back in play. We have David playing Rick Soto, who is Shadow. We have Sabine playing Silaru, who is Revenant. Leandro playing Bear Minerva, and Andrea playing Ash Rodriguez, also known as Prometheus. As Andrea wasn't here last week because he was ill, I've set up and we're going to use a powered by the Apocalypse technique called a love letter, which has got a couple of sort of branches in there that lets Andrea and Prometheus have had a little mini adventure while the team was away. Just to remind people that this is a Gauntlet game. You can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have and we are playing under inclusivity policy, so we are trying to take good care of each other and be tolerant to everyone and everything. We're using safety tools. We have set up lines and veils, which we have reviewed, and we have we are using the X card, and we're using script change. Both tools very useful. There's a great book up for the Ennies at the moment. We've got a lot of these tools in. You should go and pick it up. At the end of the game, we will be doing Stars and Wishes, which is the cooldown technique to sort of celebrate what we've seen and set ourselves up ready for the rest of our chronicle. That's the admin stuff. Let's get that love letter done first. They call it a love letter, but there's not a great deal of love.
I read it and it wasn't very loving.
It's as romantic as I get. But let's read it in. Chu Shi has been on the trail of the Sinister Kids since the incident at the bus station. She and her smoke demons lost sight of the team when they entered Rick's Cathedral. She turned her attention to Prometheus with other business and planned to join them later. And there's three things, and the escalation of how bad this was depends on the roll of the dice. If it's a 6 or less, bad things will happen. So, Andrea, I'd like you to roll a flat 2d6.
Unmodified 2d6. It's an 8.
So, on a 6 or less, they'd have gone to Baya's parents, their mums, and paid a visit to the coffee shop. On a 7 to 9, they headed into the Black Cat and started asking hard questions of the Black Dog. Chu Shi is when she is out and about smoking a cigar. They are like an enforcer of the mystical governance in the city. They are not good people to cross. They're not good people to have on your tail. And I think we'll be picking up and figuring out exactly how the Black Dog liked going on the radar of the law. Not quite the law, but the council of the different factions within the city a little bit later on. Unfortunately, she didn't find Prometheus there. So instead, once she's on your trail, she's a form of spellcraft that harried you across the city, Prometheus. You saw spots her in different places, but you ended up ultimately on a crossroads in a deserted part of town where she confronts you. Smoke burns and fiery demons are circling you, and she warns you the Sinister Kids have reached a tipping point. You, Rick Soto, and Silaru have caused ripples in the pond. You're going to be forced to make a choice of whether you want to live in the hidden world or leave it, and that time is coming. Would you bring up Bea? Because she only mentioned you three.
Yeah, let's throw Bea under a bus.
Okay, if you bring up Bea, she looks blankly and says, "Oh, the Cat of Nine Tails has claimed her. That one's story is already written." She warns you that the Raven Privacy Order has brought this to a head. He and La Femme Pendot will sit on a carnival king and queen and unleash the city against you if you defy their decree to come before them. She blows smoke in your eyes. What happens? Do you roll 2d6 for me?
It's a 9. Can I selfishly use team on these rolls? It's not a stat roll, so maybe not. Because selfishly using team would let you shift a label, and this is not using labels, so no.
You got 2 team in the pool, well 3 technically now. So yeah, you could spend a point at Team Selfish if you want.
Yeah, I need to show that I'm a hard ass, but I also have to explain how this action undermines the rest of my team, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when she blows the smoke in his face. 1 sec, I just want to re-review that message. Sorry for breaking the pace a tiny bit. Yeah, she blows the smoke in the face. And yet I think the smoke just doesn't go near him. It runs away and it disapparates. The cigar she has in her mouth just goes up like magician paper and is gone in an instant. And his eyes glow a little, and you'll look a lot more confident. You'll take a half step forward. And a reminder, she's dealing with a servant of smokeless fire, not one of these other kids. And that a child and a god should never be misconstrued.
So you get to move your own labels. I think you don't. You move your own labels on this one. She's spending it selfishly, or are you just being... Yes, you are. So if you spend a point of team selfishly, assault your teammates, remove one of the team in the pool, and shift one label up, one label down. What are you moving?
I think based on that, I do have to push my superior up because I'm being a bit of a knob. And I think maybe my savior is taking a little bit of a hit accordingly.
Okay.
And I think I get influence.
You do. You gain influence over her.
And then Ash will thank her cordially for the warning.
Yeah, in the final warning, she says there is a crossroads, and you will find yourself upon it, and make a decision. Are you your team gonna come together, or if you're outgrowing them, step away? That's taken most of the night, right? And that's the point where the team who spent their evening in Rick's Cathedral are finally able to leave it. Does the team reach out to find Ash, or do they go home into their... do they go home and step away from each other? Rick, how about you? Oh, Sai? No, Sai, you go first.
Well, I think Sai actually might maybe not stick around with Bea, and that would actually depend on what Bea and Rick do. But if they're alone, they would definitely reach out to to Ash, because they're not feeling too good. Really not.
Did you let anyone know that you were sliced by Mery Andrew's blade?
Depends. I think Rick looks a bit overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the whole coffin and that stuff, and I'm a little scared of Bea's opinion of me right now, because I know she's scared of me, and I've done even more scary stuff, and now I'm afraid that she doesn't like me, and I don't know. I don't really I don't really feel like I can put something. I would like to talk to Ash, I think.
Seems fair. Ash is a loving teammate and doesn't have an ego problem. How about you, Rick? Where do you go after, or do you go? Do you stay in the cathedral?
Yeah, so I think Rick is going to sort of send is going to send Ash a message and just like check in that there hasn't been any issues, or to check that he hasn't been like caught by caught by the fuzz or the like. But assuming that a message comes back from Ash saying that they're okay, he won't like go out of his way to find them this evening. But he, I think that what he will, I think what we sort of see of the rest of his evening, assuming that he isn't called in to go and help out with Ash, is to he'll basically head off and wander down one of the sort of streets and pickpocket a hotel room key off of a tourist, and bed down in a random hotel for the evening.
Yeah. Though you are tired, you have Sherry with you. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, no, absolutely nothing except that she doesn't want to talk to Sai. So, sorry. I do think that, like, yeah, I think definitely bears with Sherry, and I think but Beck can feel like she's tired. The impromptu healing thing that she slapped on her arm, the one that got nearly decayed off by Mr. Sin, is still like hurting. So I think she just says like to Sharon, like, are you wait, we were running from someone when you came with us. Are you gonna be okay? Like I can stay with you if you want.
Said I came to warn you that they sent Chushi after you. You've pissed off the council.
Oh, lovely. And they're hard asses, you know that. Is there a way to unpiss them off?
I think they're gonna call you in front of them. Blah blah blah. Know your place. Take your seats in the council. Be gods. Be vampire princes. Those sort of things. You know, that's the. They don't like people who don't follow the traditions, right?
Yeah, I know. It's honestly, I'm too tired to play their game right now. But thanks for warning us, and sorry about what just happened. You okay?
She sort of. I don't think I'm sorry at all, to be quite honest, Bear. I think perhaps that was like the best night I've had in a while, and it'd kind of be a shame if it ended so early.
Yeah, like, it's kind of like, yeah, she has this like rather goofy smile, even though she's like really tired. I think she says like, well, far be it for me to tell a witch to be how one can keep the night going. I'll follow your lead on that.
I think that's the point where you spot at the other end of the alleyway the man who has the 9 cats. You can't quite see their face, and they're sort of standing there. And she's sort of leaning into you expectantly for a kiss. What do you do, Bear?
Bear is going to kiss Sherry while keeping an eye on the man and then giving that man the finger. I can't roll plus cold, but I think I'm provoking McCavity.
Yeah, make a roll.
Shit! All these conditions. My superior's already not that great. Wait, hold on. My superior's already a -2. I can't be rolling this on -4, am I?
Do it.
No,
Sounds
you're
like
not.
I'll still roll it. I'll still roll it.
Yeah, no, actually, -4 is the maximum. As I say, you can't do that, but -4 is the maximum it could be. So
I'm gonna do it. This is absolutely provoking. I'm giving him the finger. I don't need this grief right now. Well, I rolled a 2. Well, no, I rolled a 6 -4 is the 2, which is amazing.
So you give him the finger, and that's when the cats start meowing. There's sort of a cacophony of meows that sort of starts building up into a harmony. Sherry turns around and looks at McCavity, the cat and 9 tails, and then looks back at you. Is there any wizard, witch, warlock, mystical spirit, god, fable, supernatural creature, undying, post-dying, pre-dying, wielder of the hidden world that you have not somehow managed to piss off, Bear?
Jerry, you make it sound like I want to piss people off. I genuinely don't. I'm an amiable person. I more often than not, I like to be friends with them, but they seem to just be. Sometimes they just want to be irritating jackasses. She shouts at the down the alleyway.
What have you done to piss off a near comata?
Okay. Do you remember that story I told you about the diner? About it was late at night and they were 24/7 diner, but the man behind the counter was also a humongous jackass. Actually, no, it wasn't. Actually, let me retract that. Not the man at the counter, but probably another customer. I don't want to be mean to the poor folks who have to run a 24/7 diner. There was this bloke at this diner, and he had the most annoying dog with him, and he was getting to a fight about bringing this dog into the diner. And I just thought, well, maybe he should have just a bit more trouble on his own. And I don't think the McCavity over there was fond of being dragged into a stereotypical cat versus dog scenario, and has look, he's not the biggest jackass in the world. You're not the biggest jackass in the world. He's just kind of annoying. You know that to be true. I imagine Bear is caught in between Sherry, who's looking at her disapprovingly, and the gaggle of cats. It's just. So I guess this isn't like the best.
Did they do a service for you?
Yeah. I mean, that diner. By the end of it, the diner had to be decontaminated a tad, but they did.
And did you pay the yokai for its service?
thought I did. It was, didn't I? Yeah, she shouts back at the cats.
The cats in unison shake their heads.
Okay. All right. Can I not pay this back at a more opportune time? I'm kind of busy right now.
Bear leans over and kisses you on the cheek. Why don't you sort out those pussycats first, and then we'll deal with us at another time. I don't like people watching.
Yeah, just kind of like shivers in anticipation. There we go. That's the phrase. Or I guess it should be anticipation. I'll just we'll cut away from there.
That's fine. We'll cut to Sai, who is seeking out Rick.
No, Ash.
Oh, sorry, Ash.
I mean, I don't want to put this on Rick, but maybe Ash is in a better place than the rest of us.
Probably.
So I'm calling him on the phone because I believe he has one.
Yep. Hey, Sai, you okay?
Not so much. No. Can I come by and we can talk maybe?
Yeah, sure. Where's convenient for you?
I don't know. Wherever, I guess, wherever you are, I can come by, or can meet at the graveyard, I guess. I don't know.
I'm on the way back to my place. Yeah. You want to come meet back here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah. And I think when you see Sai, they're more translucent, I guess. A little bit harder to look at, in a way.
Come in. You're looking really pale.
Yeah, I found the person, I don't know if it's a guy, the god thing that killed me, and I attacked them, and they cut me, and I don't know, I feel like I'm losing myself.
Cut you?
With a blade they killed me with, I guess.
Are you injured?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, you can probably see that with that the arm or the hand. Was it the hand, David?
Yeah, it was the hand.
That the hand is weirdly. What is it? Translucent, stiff.
There's like, I suppose, a cut in it. I imagine if you were looking at the panel, we could see it sort of. As I say, I think it's like a slow puncture in a balloon. You can sort of see wisps of it, of whatever's inside, whooshing away.
If I pinch the wound and pull it, does it make a farting noise? Like a balloon? I'm not gonna, sorry. Boundaries.
No, I don't know if it makes noise. It's just weird.
Can I assess the situation, Dave?
Yes.
That's 12.
So
This
you can ask
situation is super assessed.
two questions of assessing of this situation. Again, reminding people that the questions are guidelines. If you want to go outside them with better questions, I'm more than happy to tell you, and I'll tell you if you've gone too far.
So to paraphrase one of the questions, I guess, is Sai in danger? Like, is this wound of danger to Sai?
Yes. When you sort of run your hand over the cut, it's not just Sai is not just escaping into the ether as they go away. They're slowly being attracted back away. You can sort of feel it. It sort of goes up, and you can see it disappear away as it's being attracted to something, drawn to something. So this is a clear and present threat.
And what here can I use to heal the wound, stroke stop the bits of Sai escaping?
You won't be able to heal it, but you can stop it. And if you looked around the I suppose the kitchen area you're in, what is the one thing? In fact, I know you know the answer. I can give you the answer to this. You know how you can. At least seal the wound. There is a if you took some of the ash that your grandfather sometimes leaves about and reheat it, the energy inside that would be enough to stop this from escaping.
Sai, you're bleeding.
Damn. Yeah, I guess.
But it's going somewhere else. It's not just escaping. It's being drawn somewhere.
Yeah,
I
probably too.
I think I could close the wound and stop it.
Okay.
Like, sort of like cauterizing it.
Yeah, I was afraid you'd say that.
And if this is left untreated,
yeah, no, go ahead.
It's not going to stop.
I know. I can feel that.
Do you trust me?
Of course.
Okay. I just need to find some of Gramps' stains. I'll be right back. And Ash is going
your
to
grandfather is sleeping, and his ashes and his cigarette butts are in the ashtray in the.
Okay. Ash is just going to do the smooth action of walk over, pop an opened bottle of beer right beside his hand, and pick up the ashtray and walk away with it.
Though you are sure he is sleeping, the hand sneaks out and wraps itself around the beer bottle.
I'll bring this back in a sec, Gramps. And Ash is going to take it upstairs with the handful of ash, and I guess we need to warm it now.
Oh, that's more your deal than mine, warming up things.
I think we should start with some conventional warming. So Ash is going to get a lighter, and I guess start to heat the ashtray. And then, Dave, I assume I'm unleashing my powers.
You are. By the way, I should have given you a potential for the love letter. You didn't the last scene, but just that puts you up to 5, just in case you were thinking or planning of any move. Just present moment in time.
No. So let's see if I can succeed on a fixed psi roll.
Rolling with a freak, which is a 0.
Yep. It's a 10.
Ooh.
Friendship wins.
Yes.
So yeah, once the ashtray starts to darken underneath and you can sort of see little vapors of smoke coming out of it, I think at that point Ash can put the lighter down and use his own hand to maintain the heat and continue to warm it. And I assume as the ash heats, there's cigarette ash which will just disapparate, but there's other bits of ash in there which start to kindle and start to burn. And Ash will apply that to the wound, and I guess I should be given a condition.
Yes, but you would also be able to comfort and support, I think, Sai for putting yourself at this risk should you wish to.
So Who would comfort and support? Me
You
or-
would you as in Ash can comfort and support. I think putting yourself at risk and using magic rituals to support and your teammate feels appropriate for a comfort and support role, especially considering the number of conditions that Sai is carrying right now.
Oh yeah, that'll be the after treatment. Like there'll probably be like a arm over the shoulder and a.
Okay.
How are you feeling, buddy?
So as
get
yeah,
an-
go carry on.
Comfort support. I get an 8. No, 6, because I am not very mundane anymore.
Oh, how?
So, you want to help me comfort and support you?
I would actually. I think I would just pour everything that has happened out. What they said to me. I think that would actually help because I'm really opening up here. I mean, can feel that Sai's not got a lot left.
And I think to frame it, you've got sort of Ash sat there holding Sai's injured hand, the other arm around Sai, reassuringly. And probably got Sai's now starting to open up about all the things they've been through.
Yeah, like they were so angry at this Mery Andrew and they tried to attack him, but that didn't go very well. It's a god, you know. It's a real god, I think.
Maybe. Like, not all gods are gods.
Well,
And
yeah, but that one is.
Not all gods have power unless you give it to them.
I mean,
you see, that's what I'm seeing now. Everywhere we look, is people claiming how powerful they are and trying to use that to oppress us. When do they really have any power, or is it just us letting them because we don't know any better and because maybe we don't have the experience yet?
I don't know.
Like it doesn't matter if it's a god or not a god, because you're Sai. Like, you are one of the sweetest and kindest member of the team, but not only that, if you want to be, you're a walking nightmare. Anyone's walking nightmare. A human's, a god's, doesn't matter.
Well, you know, I think he called me Aloha.
Cool.
I mean, maybe I misheard that.
No, that sounds about right.
Oh, yay.
Like, wow, that must be really important then.
Yeah, I have a white mark apparently, and this Mery Andrew is killing everyone who has that.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I was told by Mr. Sin, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Hmm.
Well, we'll have to stop him. Where did you encounter him?
In Rick's Cathedral, I guess.
Rick has a cathedral?
You didn't? Oh, I wouldn't have told you, I guess. Sorry, Rick. Yeah, I think the rest of it, maybe Rick should tell you. Maybe you should know what else is in the cathedral. But it's not my story really, and I don't want to blab this out.
I had a message from Rick. Seemed okay. Well.
I don't think he's okay.
No.
No. Uh-uh.
Did Mery Andrew hurt anyone else?
He tried to do stuff, and I think it was a mess. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you should have been there. I'm saying if we would have fared better with you. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Oh, come on. You're the one who keeps us together. And I think last time when we were there, it was like the center of us was missing.
I just keep you together because I need you guys.
Yeah, but we need you as well. I guess that's why we're friends, team,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
And I don't just need you guys. I like you guys. I want you guys.
Thank you. I like you too. And I trust you.
How's that hand feeling?
Better. I mean, doesn't feel as weird, I guess.
Okay.
How would we know that your grandfather's powers had activated downstairs, Ash?
How would we know?
What would it feel like? Is there a noise, a smell?
Do you know when you open the oven
Yeah,
and you just get that wall of heat?
yeah.
That just goes through the house almost instantly. It goes from what is a fairly cool late evening suburban house to tropical swelt. Thick, permeable. You could probably almost feel the heat radiating.
That's the moment that you realise your grandfather's awake and he ain't a happy man. But we'll flip the page on that for a minute and see how Rick's night in the hotel is going. I'm not sure they'd just like to check in every 5 minutes or so and see you having a nice night in with mini bar and room service, all of this drama elsewhere, and Rick's having a bubble bath.
Yeah, that's very similar to what I'm imagining. I think he's kind of he's dressed in like the complimentary dressing gown, lying back on the bed. I think there's a film on TV. But I think as he's kind of sitting here, he's still got the crown. He's kind of turning over in his hands.
And what's going through Rick's head? If we were a thought bubble there, what is Rick pondering right now?
I think he is sort of he is conflicted about what all of this means in the abstract sense. He's I think putting together most of the actual practical stuff together now. I think that but yeah, I think he's questioning whether he is a vampire already, or if that's something that's still to come. It's not really a thing he has studied in any detail before about how vampires work, really. So I think it's just as I say, just sort of questioning what happens next.
Okay, I'll pass you from there, mate, because I think we've probably got just a few more pressing things we can do before we can bring people back together. Bea, what did you do with when the cats stopped singing? How did you leg it? Did you make some sort of what? 'Cause I think they're going to keep following you at the moment.
Yeah, and Sherry said to deal with it, so I think we just get like this like stack of 4-page with panels, one end of the alley of the other. The one end is like all these cats just singing, and and as we go through the panels, it's just Bea walking towards from the other end. And I think when we get to like to the edge of the sea of cats, she just like pulls like she grabs like a empty like trash bin, just put it on the side and sits down and just looks at the cats and like, okay, look, you are on the cusp of possibly ruining what my best gal just described as one of the best nights of her life. There probably should be a capstone to that to ensure that it'll be the best night of her life, and it will very much like to ensure that happens. Unfortunately, I can't really do that when I have to deal with you, and you, and you, and you, and you. So what do you want?
Said you promised to feed us with something you didn't need anymore. It was that we chose what we wanted and you didn't give it to us.
Okay, Bear would know what it is, but what do you think it is?
I was thinking that this sort of probably occurred around the same time that Bear was full of brokenheartedness and didn't believe that love was worth nothing.
Ah.
You can script change me into anything else you like.
No, I like to be in the corner. I like this corner. As I think Bear's just like, can we renegotiate that? See, the difference between, the thing with humans is that they're very changeable, Turns out broken hearts can be mended. Usually it takes time, but getting put in a life or death situation would usually do it.
Foolishly made promises are the best ones. They taste divine.
They sound very delectable, but I'm sure I could provide something of the alternative, an alternative that's just as delightful.
You said you didn't want to think about her anymore, and that's why we dealt with them for you. It seemed fair, and you can sort of see this cog turning in Cherry's head at the other end of the corridor. She's going like, "What is he talking about, Bear?"
It's looks at Cherry's like, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I just talk to. Look, I said a lot of very ill-informed things. I'm a teenager. That comes with a job description. I'm sure that's why you like talking to teenagers, because we're very funny. More often than not, unintentionally funny. But
wizards are my favorite. You make such foolish deals until you understand how to form a good compact. If there's something else you feel that is worth more than your love of this girl, what? She screeches from the other end.
I'm thinking, what would it be? I do want Bear to make something foolish. To promise always something foolish. Maybe it's camaraderie with her teammates. I don't know. She's not feeling good about them now.
Maybe the point where we see Bear about to open her mouth and do something Bearish, and I'll switch the scene for a moment to the others to give you a chance to think and reflect.
Yeah, maybe maybe we can cut forward and we won't figure out till later.
Yeah, I'm happy for you to have a think. We'll come back to you, let you frame what happened. But yeah, you feel this warmth of heat and this smell of charcoal and ash in the air.
I'm going to take the ashtray downstairs. I think Gramps has woken up Si. I'll be back.
Okay. I will slowly and unobtrusively pad after you, just in case you need help. Which I probably couldn't provide, but...
Ash will go see what's going on with Gramps and return the ashtray clean.
He's standing. There are singe marks in the lazy boy that he normally sits in, and he's standing. And through that cracked, ashy skin, you can see the fire is still inside him is glittering and glittering through the cracks like a overbaked golem. And he's staring at you with his eyes and smoke coming out of them. And he said, "Careful." Said, "There's another Pantheon here. There's a lower in the house."
Yes, grandfather. Would you like to meet my teammate, the Revenant?
Said, "You've brought a lower into my house?"
Why, yes, grandfather. I've afforded them all my hospitality.
You don't bring another Pantheon into your temple.
But surely there are times when it's not inappropriate. I'm really sorry, Granddad. I should have told you and the family beforehand, shouldn't I? And gotten permission.
He sort of sniffs into the air and says, "It's not even out of its chrysalis." Said, "I'm not going through this nonsense again. I went through it with your father." And I think we have a flashback to the Order again, where we see the Raven, we see, and again, these are all in the tab in the character keeper. We see the Raven, we see Apollo, and we see Aed, and the Irish spirit of fire, and she is standing in a portal about to step out of this world.
Is she the one who's dead?
No, Orisha is the one who is dead.
Thanks.
Orisha is dead. The original Shadow Knight is dead. Baron Carr is in Halcyon City, but Aed is the red-headed Irish spirit of fire, and she is looking and stepping beyond the world, and there's just the Raven and just your father. And she says, "This was a mistake. It was never going to work. We're from different heritages. We tried, but the secret world, it would never stop trying to pull us back." And your father sort of makes his words you can't see because they're sort of away from us in the panel, and there's a sort of a fiery tear in her eye, but she turns and steps in and away. And then you see Raven looking at Apollo and says, "So it's done. It's over. This was the mistake. It's a fool's errand. I'll never forgive you for it." And he turns and walks away. And then back to the present day, your grandfather is pointing his finger at you and says, "No, never works. Keep to your own kind. Fight for what you are here for. You don't need others. Leave them be. Cast them off. I command it of you." And he's telling you who you are.
Okay. I accept.
Okay.
This is what Ash does.
He is going to put your freak up and your mundane. We can't put your mundane down. So I'll tell you what, your freak will stay as it is, but you can have a condition instead.
Okay.
Because I tried to shift a label that can't shift. Just exactly as I did it to Leandro the other day. I just didn't think, and I moved it, and that's what's supposed to. So bang.
Okay.
So please mark a condition. They'll try to shift a label which is already maxed downwards.
Probably a little bit. afraid because I feel I'm that's getting very what's the word? Let's call it tenebrous. It's could all come crashing down at any point.
And his eyes are glittering. The fire inside him is coming up, and you know this is dangerous for him to be this to call upon the fire, or the fire more likely is not being called upon by him. It is trying to do its final acts and consume him.
Grandfather, I'll remove them right away. And just in case they're problematic, how do I kill Aloha? And I'm gonna maybe do I have to is that a provoke check?
Yeah, provoke him. I think. If you want to pierce the mask, no, pierce the mask doesn't give you bonuses. It really feels like it should give you. So no, just provoke them. Or no, it would be. How can I get your character 2? So pierce the mask would probably be the most.
Okay, I'll pierce the mask. Either way,
you're trying to find something out to pierce the mask, trying to get them to do something. Telling them what to do would be provoke.
Okay, so I roll 7. I am not very mundane. That's a 5. I am fail.
Mark a potential.
Yep.
Said, don't start fights you can't finish.
Yes, grandfather. Now I'm going to remove Aloha from this house. Apologies. Going to camp upstairs. Sai.
I think
we need
Sai
to climb out the window.
I think Sai came downstairs, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I think
I've heard all of
you heard
this.
all of this.
Shit.
What were you doing, Sai?
I don't know. I mean, I said I trust Ash, so I guess he's maybe just playing along with his grandfather. I hope he is, but I will of course leave if I'm not wanted. That's okay. So
I think having that moment when Ash comes out and we see the door just slamming shut.
No, I'm not slamming the door. I'm just.
I
think you can
silently clicks.
Yeah, I think you can just maybe hear this very quiet. I'm going by, and then you don't. I don't think the door even moves. Sai's just gone.
Okay.
Because maybe
we'll go.
He's not pushing through the house though. He's trying not to push through the house, I guess.
And Ash will look at the door, look back to grandfather, who's probably getting quite hot, and figure he has to defuse family rather than go comfort Sai. And I'll cut my bit there.
Cool. That's fine. Let's get back to the hotel where we do see Rick Soto in the big roll-top bath and the bubble bath, and that's where you hear the tourist and the gaggle of a family come back into the room going, gosh, I just wouldn't know, or I lost that key. And the good news is breaking into someone's hotel room and staying there for more than a couple of hours did feel to me like foolhardy action. So I'm very happy for you to clear your insecure condition. Rick, as you realize that the family that you just nicked the card, there's 2 teenage children and a mother and a father in the next room to you. What are you doing?
I think that Rick is going to get out of the bath, pull on the robe, tie it around him, and open the door, looking shocked, and say, "What are you doing here?"
The father who's wearing a Union City baseball jersey looks at you and his jaw drops. Goes, "What are you doing here?"
This is my family's room. I just popped back to have a quick bath in here, and I dropped my key card downstairs in the lobby. This is room 211, isn't it?
He says, "No, this is room 311. This is my family's room." Just, what? And you can see the wife is putting her hand into her purse to try and take something out.
I'm sorry. I'll just get my things, and there must have been some kind of mistake. Sorry about that.
Okay. You're gonna. At that point, you see the woman pulls forth her hand with a canister of mace and pushes it straight at you and is about to squeeze the trigger.
Sure, and I think at that point, yeah, I think at that point, Rick's just going to wreathe the room in darkness and attempt to run away during the confusion.
Okay, so let's have an unleashing of your powers to reshape the environment.
Certainly. Oops, I've not opened the.
Okay, do you like to?
Yeah, please. I can't seem
that?
to find it
no,
in
not a
the.
problem. I will throw it into the chat.
Cheers. Yes. So. Yeah, that is an 11, somewhat disappointingly.
Disappointingly? Okay, so it works. Just describe how this works, or and what it looks like as Rick Soto, probably with the dressing gown and probably the crown, which you can gather, flees the room.
Yeah, so I think the room just kind of instantly goes, or it's probably like in the panel we kind of see the tendrils of darkness kind of spreading out behind him, but from the perspective of the room it just sort of goes completely dark for a moment. The mace probably goes off randomly. There's lots of yelling and shrieking, but in the chaos, Rick dashes out, dressed in the dressing gown. Holding the crown over one arm, and darts off down a corridor to sort of the fire escape. Barges through it, probably setting off the alarm in the process, and legs it into the night.
And back in the hotel room, we see the family. They're all wearing their baseball caps, and they sit down, going, "Gosh, you just can't believe what happens in this city. It's full of freaks." They take off their hats to reveal they have hollow heads with pools of water in them. And we'll flip the page on that and come back we'll come back in 10 minutes. We'll take a break, which will give Bea just a chance to. We'll come back to that afterwards and figure out what Bea did next. So I'll see you at 5 to the hour, folks. So the page flips to the Nikomata, who believes that they are owed something by Bea Minerva. How did you want to frame this? Do you want this to be something that we didn't know when we flash back to later on, Bea, or is this a deal to be made?
I think if this was like a proper comic book, I think it is something that like we don't see until for a dramatic moment. But because we're all here in the table and we should know about these kinds of infos, I'll just spit out what my idea was, because I was trying to think like what would be the equivalent of foolhardily giving away teenage love. Trying to think like of what's really important to Bea in the past series. I did throw out the idea of something to do with her teammates, and she's still in a I'm unsure about them moment. She might give away her promise to Sai, her promise to help them find who killed them.
Cruel.
Ooh, says Anathemata. I like broken promises. They taste like salmon. Said, I could have your real name. You don't need it anymore. That would taste exactly like chicken.
Yes, well, but my real name is tied to other people. They might need it more than you, honestly. And at the end of the day, salmon and chicken, it sounds like they're comparable to you. So, I was going to ask Sabine, what were you going to say? Were you okay with this?
I was going to say that I love it, but it is a bit of a cop-out since I already knows who killed them.
Yeah. Well, who you were, actually. I think...
yeah, right. Oh, yes. Yes, I love this.
Yeah. I think that was also the promise, because like Bea kind of knows, but would have helped you find out more about who you were.
I mean, if you sell this now, then it makes total sense that you don't know later.
Yeah. Yeah. She might... Maybe this would find out that she knows exactly who you were, but didn't want to tell you. Because she didn't like who you were.
So is the panel? Is it that's all the way along that is that what we're saying, that Bea knew who Sai was and willingly sacrificed that?
Yes. And it's something we don't have to figure out until a dramatic moment pops up later. But yeah, I think that is what she's going to go for, and she's doing this because it in the very hurried bouncing of things. It's better to let this go than to let Sherry go again. So I think that we just get like a wordless panel of Bea like looking over her shoulder at Sherry and giving her like this confident, I'm about to do a thing smile. And she kind of like gets up from like where she was sitting and kind of leans down and whispers to the cat's ear. I think all of the cats kind of like perk up and like,
They're around your ankles, on your shoulders. Yes, one is looking up straight at you.
Yeah, and she tells them like, this is probably not her biggest shame, but it's definitely up there that she knew exactly who Sai was and deliberately kept it from them. Promised to help them find out, and then is breaking that promise right now.
Oh, we like this. This will appease us. And it's almost like a thought or a part of you sort of expresses some of your mouth like mist, and one of them snaps it up and it pats at it with their paws like yarn, and then the cats are around and all over it in a ball, and they meow and then run down the street past Sherry. The man is left behind. You recognize the face of the man you've not seen before. It was the man who liked the dog, and their eyes are empty and lifeless, and there's a crunch to the ground as the body is left. And Sherry, her jaw is on the floor, and she sort of looks at you and says, "What the hell did you just do?"
It's a long story, but I'm willing to tell it if you want to hear it. I'm.
Did you just make a deal with the yokai?
I honor the deal, and it's done.
And the original terms of the deal were you would forget about me.
It was hard to forget you, and I thought I needed help.
Most people choose ice cream, not deals with cat demons.
Well, the thing is, I already have ice cream, so I didn't know what else I don't know what else I could have.
So you just made a deal with a demon to make sure that you didn't forget me. Is that what you just did, Bear Minerva?
Yeah?
That is so damn hot. And she jumps on you.
Turn the page.
We just hit a veil as we fade to black. Let's turn the sundial 24 hours or so. I think those smaller scenes have had a moment to pass. And in fact, I'd like, let's pick up, as I say, in later in the day, the following day, people have had a chance to regroup, cool down, calm themselves, and decide what they're going to do next. We sort of see probably a scene of Apollo who comes back later in the night, sees how close his father is to burning out, puts his hand on your shoulder, Ash, and tells you he's glad you were here.
Yeah, I brought Aloha into the house and Gramps lost his shit.
Your father restarts the coffee pot ritual that we saw last time, where he goes over.
Sorry, I had a call come through, so it cut you off.
All right, sorry. Your father restarts the coffee pot ritual that we saw last time. You had a 1-to-1 with your father. It's almost exactly the same panels as if the artist was cutting down on repainting. Where he goes over, makes a coffee, makes a pot, put 2 cups down, sits at the table aside from you.
Dad, I need to ask. There's a lot of stuff going on. I need to ask one big question to try and unravel it. Why did you leave the shadows?
He takes a long, big sip of the coffee. The hidden world keeps to itself. It thinks it can solve all of its problems without letting anyone else in. Equally, all of its gifts that can make a difference to this world, they hide here. And mostly here. Few places anywhere else, but mostly here. I didn't want to hide. and I wanted to make a difference. So me and some others decided it was a price worth paying to come out of the shadows, to come out of the hidden world. Does that answer your question?
Not really. Just
In what way doesn't it? I want to be straight with you, son.
I know it just kind of. It's a lot less messy than things are.
Nothing that the choices that me and the others made was not messy. We pissed
Which
off. No, go on.
Which others?
Baron Carr, who joined the Minutemen, perished. Shadow Knight, who was struck down. Aed, who returned to her people. Orisha, who gave her life. Sita, who returned back to where she came. Only I really live in the light now. Sita back in India, I suppose. Raven has returned to the hidden world. We tried. Perhaps we weren't ready. We paid a price. Magic always has a price. You burn brighter.
It's just the only reason we're getting wrapped up in all these shadows is that we're reacting to things that other people are doing to us. They killed Sai. You got the whole thing with Shadow's dad, but they're all. There's some weird king and queen who are taking offense at everything we're doing, even though we're just cleaning up the messes other people are making. And it just feels like they're wanting to throw their power around, just keep us in control. And it just doesn't feel right.
Your father, you will see him starting to slightly glow when you mention the king and queen. And he says, why did you choose to take on the mantle? It was a choice. You didn't need to. Why did you do it?
It wasn't a choice to me. I was born and raised for that moment. It was my destiny. It's our family. It is everything. And I couldn't turn it down because it's more important to me than anything else in this world, apart from maybe the world itself, which is why we do it, right? To protect the world from the darkness.
That's why I do it. I'm hoping that's why you want to do it. He finishes his coffee. He doesn't refill it. He just sort of sits there silently looking at the empty cup, deep in thought.
I really just want to punch the shadow world right now to remind it that it fears the light.
And he looks up and his eyes are golden and his skin catches light and he says, so the Carnival King and Queen have decided that you'll stand before them. I'm up for punching them in the nose if you are. Won't be the first time. What about your team?
They shouldn't be involved with this stuff, but these people got them involved.
You can stop.
They'll come if we call.
So if you want to complain that the world's a harsh place and magic's cost is too high, then I'm afraid no one's going to listen.
That's not my complaint. The world is full of dicks who are making it awful for everyone. That's my complaint.
That's the same explanation I gave, but with less cussing. Put $1 in the swear jar.
Sorry, Dad. We need
Talk to your
to.
team. Make a decision of what we're going to do.
Thanks,
Are you
Dad.
standing alone? With me? With them?
Is that a choice? Can't I just say yes? I'll speak to my team, Dad.
He says, smiles and says, the choices are definitely yours to make. Bay Minerva, you have undoubtedly managed to clear off guilty, and you've probably got some good easy relief as well.
Yeah. I was also gonna ask, like, was McCavity like a threat? Because did I take them down?
Yes.
Or okay. Jeez, I'm getting through these drives fairly quick. Okay, that's all I need.
So, does anyone want any separate scenes, or shall we bring the team together? Or will the team come back together?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what Sai would be doing, but he wouldn't go back to the team at this point. Because
sorry.
I mean, I imagine he would try to find out about Loa, and that might mean to go to a library, because other people, they're not helpful, I guess.
Yeah, you could go to the library, you could seek out Sherry, you could seek out La Femme Pendo.
No. I don't trust her.
Oh.
She has an agenda, and she never told me the whole truth or actually anything. She just threw me at this person, and I got hurt, and now I am hurt, and I will do this on my own now because yeah.
Okay.
That's such a great idea.
When you get to the library and start looking into the voodoo section, the name that was given to you was Gede.
Mm-hmm.
And Gede, or specifically Papa Gede, you sort of read this description of them. Their appetite is insatiable. They have a constant thirst for soul. They wash down their food with rum spiced with hot peppers and smoke cigars or cigarettes after a meal. When they are summoned, one of the practitioners riding them like a horse. When is ridden, they are possessed. But little Gede is literally a spirit of light from depth, the corpse of the first man.
Mm.
He is he is one of the powerful voodoo spirits.
Oh, it's pretty unlikely that I can kill him.
Eternal figure in black, controlling the eternal crossroads which everyone must someday cross over. Their symbol is the cross upon the tomb. Other spirits fear him and try to avoid them.
Oh. Yeah, maybe I can find a spirit who knows something. So I'll return to the graveyard and start talking to spirits, just trying to find out some kind of weakness, or maybe someone can tell me where I might find some Loa who can tell me what I'm supposed to do now, or what they think is a nice idea to do. Yeah, that sounds pretty like what I would do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we will see you heading to the cemetery. Where did Rick go?
So I'd quite like to get just a quick scene in with Ash before we all meet back up again, if that's okay.
Yep.
Frame away, folks. I want to give you a chance to character
Cool.
breathe tonight.
Yeah, so I think actually Rick is going. That's that question actually. I'm trying. Has Rick been to Ash's house before, or does Rick know where Ash's house is? I'm trying to think if we've actually done it in character or something.
I don't think you've been there. However, there's no reason why you wouldn't know,
Sure
because
thing.
Ash has to lug his way back and forth all the time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I think we kind of get like a panel of like, Rick ringing the doorbell to Ash's front door. But when we kind of get like the sort of the reverse shot from the doorway, he's now he's dressed in like a slightly oversized like hot pink t-shirt with sassy lady in rhinestones across the chest, and a pair of denim dungarees with one of the shoulder straps like obviously broken and hanging down.
Why don't we
Ash?
position this exactly at the end of your last scene with your father suddenly, you at the moment you had distracted by the doorbell ringing?
Oh, hey, Cheryl. And Ash just looks him up and down, confused. His face just does not even begin to hide the what the fuck.
Hey, I had something of an eventful night. I was wondering if you wanted to maybe go and get some coffee or something.
Yeah, let's take a walk, man. I'd invite you in, but Gramps went apoplectic over the ghost. I'm not quite sure how he's going to handle psychic vampire. Ash will step out and close. And she call, Dad, I'm just going to step out for a moment with my team. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, and I think as I kind of walk away from the house, it's kind of that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. I've learned some things, and I think I might be literally turning into a vampire, not just in a metaphorical sense. I don't know. I don't quite know how it all works. I mean, I still feel alive and all that, but
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I don't think you're sounding too cool with that. Tell me what's really going on with you, Rick. You sound like you've been through a lot.
So back when we went to that vampire shindig back with Duke, that woman we saw there that you found that picture looked like me. Turns out she is, or well, at least thinks she is my sister, and I think I know where my dad has got to, and
Your dad's dead, right?
I think so, but he's a vampire, and I think he's trying to get back, and I think that's what's been going on with all of this.
Not taking death as gracefully as others.
So I'm kind of scared I'm going to end up turning into whatever he was, whatever my sister is.
Hey, okay. Hey, Rick, you don't have to be scared. And Ash will put a hand on his shoulder. Like, one, you're not like your dad. You're your own person. You've had to live your own life and make your own choices, and whatever changes you're going through, they don't change that. And two, you've got us. Me, Bay, Sai. You have friends who will look after you, look out for you.
Thanks, man. It means a lot.
Try comfort and support. Oh, that's a very bad comfort and support, though. Okay, you're not comforted nor supported.
Ash is failing on his Dendad skills this evening. So, market potential.
Done already.
Look, I'm not going to give you one of those. Like, if I turn, I want you to kill me things, because hell, I for damn sure don't want to get killed over something so stupid as all this, but I don't know I can stop it, and when it happens, I don't know if I can be the same person I am anymore.
I get you. A lot of the times, I think choices are lies. They're facades pulled over our eyes. Not all choices. Like, you have a choice of what soda you buy, what cake you eat. But when someone presents you with a situation where you have to be your true self, there is no choice there, right?
I guess so. I mean, I sure as hell didn't ask for any of this.
Like, Sai didn't choose. You didn't choose. Choice was thrust upon me, and it's not a choice I could ever not take. I need this as much as it needs me. Bea gets to choose.
Although,
but
I
Bea's the
guess
kind of
it's
person that would always choose it, right? They would always choose.
Exactly. I mean, if you did learn there was a whole other side of the world you'd never learned about before, would you turn your back on it?
Yeah. Hey, but are you really scared of losing yourself?
I guess that's the thing. I don't know if I'm scared of losing myself or scared of finding myself.
Yeah, I get you. I don't know. Like, it's complicated, isn't it? Because we both know that you sometimes have to make hard decisions and do things that are maybe questionable within your own moral frame set. Like, the world's a dirty place. We're going to get dirty. We should just try our hardest to stay true to who we are and why we do this. That maybe won't get us through it, but whatever happens, bro, like, I'm here. And if you do anything that I disagree with, I will call you out on it. I'm not going to let you slowly fade.
Thanks. That means a lot. I wanted you to know. I know your family is tied up in this whole thing, and
Yeah.
I was on the page on that scene there, and then a parallel scene where probably it's waffles and cream and coffee in bed somewhere. Sherry says, and if you do something that I disagree with, I'm going to call you out on it. Echoing something from a panel the other way as she's setting down the rules for the new relationship.
I think Bear, it's just like, what? Well, don't I get an equivalent? I mean, I don't ever disagree with anything you say, but it could still happen.
But I'm practically perfect in every way. What the possibly you need to deal with, which is a condition of dating me, Bear Minerva.
Well, you never know. Time is long and magic's chaotic. Life is chaotic. But yeah, I'll agree to the rule, sure.
Says fair and fine. So I offer to you one free clarification to the relationship to be used at any point as you so see fit. This seems fair and in agreement between both of us. But with this offering, I take from you the gift of the last of the maple syrup.
Can I just offer you another free calling out?
No.
Okay. I don't think we need more than that unless there was anything specific you wanted.
No, I think we just wanted a counterpoint. That sort of scene as a small little flash away. And then let's go to the... let's head...
Ash does want to try and get the team together.
Yeah, but Sai specifically wanted to go to the graveyard first, which we will deal with, and then we'll see if the team wants to come together. It's the graveyard, I think, probably that you woke up in, Sai. It's full of gothic tombs and moss, and there are spirits everywhere. They're hiding from you. You can see them. There's occasional tourists in the distance. A second line jazz band is playing, wishing someone else along their way, but you are pretty much alone other than the ghosts here.
I'll go looking for a ghost that doesn't seem so scared, I guess. Someone who's probably seen a lot. Like someone who might tell me something or to whom I can talk.
Sure. It's a ghost of an older black man. They have they are sitting on their stone, long since weathered away, their name, and they are looking at you as you walk towards them and going, well, we don't see the Walking Dead around here so often.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you
think
have
it's
a treat for me?
What do you want?
It says, I miss tomatoes.
Oh.
Especially the green ones.
Okay. I mean, I don't have food stuff on me, and I don't know if you can eat it anyways if I had it. But
when you cook them, and you cook these things well, spirits smell them.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
It's just a good little tip.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe you'll cook me dinner sometime, huh?
Yeah, I will. absolutely. If I find a pot and a stuff, I guess. Sure. Do my best.
So why are you here, little Walking Dead man?
I'm here. I'm trying to figure out where to go, basically. People say or maybe I just was a Loa, or maybe I am. I don't know. I got myself killed, though.
Things don't tend to be gods until they need to do their crossing over.
Oh, how would I do that? I mean, maybe you know.
He says, I think you've done it just fine. It'll be the not having a body and not breathing that does it for you.
Well, I mean, you think I should give up the body?
Says, ain't for me to tell you how to live.
Yeah.
What's the question you come here to ask?
I was killed by someone, and others were killed too, and we've lost Ash, which is kind of weird. No, we didn't. We lost someone, didn't we?
I think we lost Ash second. He might be his video's just gone off.
Oh, okay.
He's a non-video participant.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's
Okay,
here. I've
cool.
just got it. The non-video participant disappear off screen.
Okay. Yeah, I got killed by. I don't know. I don't want anybody else to go through what I'm going through. Basically, I want to stop this thing killing others like me.
Looks at you, and I'm going to invite you to pierce the mask, or if there's any of your other moves you want to use to make it give you answers.
I don't think I want to be the monster here. And unstoppable doesn't help me either.
No, it's
I don't think I want to comfort and support him, so I guess I'll try to pierce the mask or assess the situation.
It's pierce the mask.
Okay. See how that goes. Yeah, but I expect, no, wait, that turned into a 10, and now it's a 10, and then that means that it's a 9.
You see, do you want to spend a point of team selfishly, or accepting just the one question from the pierce the mask?
I don't see how I could spend a point of team selfishly here, because I'd have to walk over the team, which I don't really want to do, actually.
Sure.
I don't even see how that would help.
Then only ask one question.
Only one question, okay.
And again, those can be guidelines. You can ask any question. If you want an answer, specifically an answer from the character, or the NPC even, ask it, and I will answer it honestly.
Oh. I think the question would be, what would you do if you were in my situation?
If I was in your situation, I'd be understanding exactly why this Gede wanted you not to come of age. I'd be figuring out what he sees in every one of those kids who he's killed before their time, and what they're so scared of. I'd be asking Silaru. Is which Loa does he think you are the reborn spirit of?
Yeah.
He eats the little ones before they come back. He's scared of you. And if you really want answers, you do them at crossroads. And you do them with a dinner cooking. and you ask for Papa Legba.
And sorry, you just froze a little.
Oh, sorry. He said, and you ask for Papa Legba.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think it was in the middle, actually.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. That's fine.
Crossroads, dinner
He
cooking.
said, you
did
go
you
in a
say?
crossroads,
Yeah, no,
you cook
before.
some dinner. Oh, wait.
Okay, you go
I'll
in
go from the
a.
top, right? Let's go from
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah,
He
please.
said, if I were you, I'd be figuring out why he's so scared of you and which lower he thinks you're the reborn spirit of. I'd go to a crossroad and I'd cook a dinner. And I'd be asking that Papa Legba came to eat it with me.
Okay. Cool. And that's what I'm gonna do.
Only if I were you.
Oh, well. I think
could
you'd be
go-
better at being me than I am.
You could go your own way. And once you cook dinner for Papa Legba, you're going to come back and cook me green tomatoes, right?
Maybe you do it the other way around because I might not come back from the other one.
I also like the spiced rum. And if you could bring me a cigarette.
Okay. I will.
Thank you, Silaroo.
What's your name?
He said, smiles and says, you don't give away names in our line of business. At least
you know
not until
mine.
someone's cooked you green tomatoes.
Okay. Okay. I'll go. Buy green tomatoes, I guess. Or steal them, probably.
Do we see then a feel of you cooking the tomatoes for him?
Of course.
Because they will reveal their name is Jean Petro, and he died some time ago.
Wow.
But then let's turn the page on that scene and let's see if Ash can bring the Sinister Kids back together.
Yeah, so I guess it's texts to folks saying need to get together, talk about what's going on. Let's meet at the Black Dog at 6. And I guess to Sai, well, the text will actually probably start with, I really need to apologize for yesterday. We also need to go over some bits and pieces. Could you come to the Black Dog at 6, please?
I guess you got them okay.
Yeah, text from Bea saying, you're paying for the chicken wings?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, and Rick will be there as well. Sends a message to that effect.
Yay. So shall we frame it at the Black Dog?
Yeah, we frame it at the Black Dog where you arrive outside and Kitty Isles is standing there as she sees you all. His sunglasses see the four of you. Goes, oh, look, it's the Sinister Kids.
Pray you don't meet us at a crossroads.
Said, I mostly pray that I don't meet you here. But in this instance, you are. And the Black Dog feels that he got a visitation because of you. So he would like a word.
Of course.
And she puts her arm across the door. and you owe him a favor.
Is that a reminder of the previous favor, or is this favors landing on favors now?
This was a small favor. Now it's a big favor.
Speak to the dog.
She opens the door. And as sort of one by one going in, she sort of looks and she looks at Sai and says, "Are you all right, Sai? You look depleted."
Well, I'm still dead, I guess.
Still look as always, Sai. And then she looks at Bear and say, "Whoa, who was the lucky guy or gal, Bear?"
That's on a need-to-know basis. What?
And then she looks at Rick, and she looks like she's about to say something smart-ass, and then she thinks better of it and bows and lets everyone in. The black dog is sitting at their table near the piano as always, and smoking a cigarette on a stick. And he sees you come in, and the finger in the white glove beckons you forward.
Best walk on over there. I heard you've had a visitation.
I have issue when the council sends me their most belligerent enforcer. You're making all the friends. And
See, there's
as
me
you,
thinking you had a problem with me, but it sounds like we have a problem with the council and their heavy-handed approach to what should be a subtle world. I'm new to this. I just have to assume that's how it works.
are you looking to pierce the mask? Are you looking to provoke them?
I guess let's go for Pierce. Oh, great. Roll mundane. Whoosh. That'll be a 3. I am not piercing anything today.
Well, look at all the potential you're getting by hitting that move. As you look at them, and the unscrupulous black dog looks back at you and says, "I have existed since the I have visited the high Egyptian kingdoms. I am not taking sides. I am certainly not taking sides with you, you over egotistical child." And they're telling you who you are.
I'm not too interested in them telling me who I am.
So roll
I have to just
to resist, reject the influence then.
I get a 9 on that. Is that unmodified, that roll?
That is unmodified. It's flat unless you've got a condition that takes you off it, which you don't. So on a hit, you get to choose one from the list, which is clear condition, a mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, shift one label up or down, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
I want to clear my condition because it's been a while. It's been like a day and it shouldn't be around anymore. And I think Ash will change his tact. He'll sit down, he'll lower his head, but I'm sorry. Regardless of my thoughts and feelings about them, I should not be bringing trouble to your door.
Finally, we agree with something, and good manners.
It's just, they came at us pretty heavy-handed in the first instance at a bus station, ensorcelled everybody, and started throwing demands at us. So we responded in kind.
Your wild cards. No one owns you yet.
Like,
Well,
they could have just written us a polite letter, and I would have been at their soiree whenever they wanted. But they seem really intent on strong arming.
and you are so good, Mr. Prometheus, at parties and private supper clubs like this. You and your compatriots never bring any trouble, do you?
Well, if they
Miss-
come to arrest us for we haven't done anything,
Um,
I mean, that's not all right. They shouldn't do that.
trouble follows us like a, well, I don't know if it's impolite to say, a black dog.
It sort of raises the side of his mouth, and you can see sharp canines.
But yes, we are young and we make mistakes.
Let's hope you don't end up paying for them, hey?
We already are.
Not laced yet with the rest of your lives of your immortal souls.
Yeah.
What do they want with us?
Yeah, like, I'm a bit confused, Mr. Noir. Maybe you can frame everything in the right light. Effectively, we've just been trying to deal with lots of awful things that certain people have been doing to and around us, and that seems to be getting everybody else's nose bent out of shape. Why are we so upsetting?
Because you're not anyone's. You're not
Of course.
anyone's.
Of
The
course.
moment you don't belong to one side or faction of the game,
And
people
that's
grow
why
up.
they want to arrest us.
Oh, they don't want to arrest you, so to speak, dear Sai. They want you to choose a side.
Well,
They want
they
you to
want us to
choose-
choose the other side, obviously, because coming in and trying to summon us to court, that does not seem like somebody who's like, hey, do you want to be on our side?
Well,
I mean, just my feeling, but maybe they just think they're doing the right thing. Possible.
traveling with someone who steals magic and someone who has an interesting familiar line, they will know more about the forces that are interested in you. This place holds itself in balance. It doesn't like troublemakers. And I think perhaps more worried than anything else, they're worried that Mr. Prometheus will drag you out of this place and into the light. They don't want another experiment like the Order.
Oh, they
Oh, you just muted.
stay here. Oh, you know what? Thanks for explaining things. No one else around here bothers to.
I have every hope that you will succeed and live long lives. After all, you owe me a significant favor.
Significant, you say?
Answers are never free, Mr. Prometheus.
Yes, but don't you get to use us to show what a hot spot for the up-and-comers your club is?
I can think of nothing that I would like less than being a hotspot for the up-and-comers. Said, they come, they arrive, they demolish chicken wings like velociraptors.
True. And ice cream sandwiches.
Do you know who keeps leaving the ice cream wrappers here?
I have ears, you know.
One thing you said is they don't like troublemakers, but we're the ones who've been dealing with all the troublemakers. How does that work?
Well, some of those troublemakers will have been they're troublemakers.
Oh, it's all about picking sides again, isn't it?
Mr. Zinn has lived for a very long time. Mr. Zinn got his immortality from somewhere.
Everything's connected.
There is a web. And compacts and lies and old religions and gods which should not live anymore and those who come back from the dead. Secrets which have spilt could end all reality.
Didn't even mean to.
I said, and all of that is just within the last 3 dinner tables.
I like you.
I wish, Mr. Prometheus, the feeling was the same. But still, enjoy my hospitality. Don't break anything.
Of course. Hey, guys.
He does extract himself from the table and goes to the piano.
That was a lot. Wait, no, Andrew is being called.
Sorry, my food just arrived. I had to shout at it.
Is that what you're calling Dave these days?
Yeah. Right. So yeah. Hey guys. First of all, Sai, I'm really sorry for what happened at my place.
That's
My
okay.
grand.
You have a magically muting phone tonight. Do you want to say something again?
Yep. Sorry.
Oh,
Someone keeps trying to call me. My granddad's not like the rest of us, and he has his own ideas, and mostly I was trying to stop him from literally exploding. He's lived longer than any of us ever have.
Okay. I mean, it's
And-
his house. If he doesn't want me there, it's fine. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry for making excuses for him. I was just concerned about his safety, as odd as that is.
Yeah, well, it's your family.
But I was also concerned about your safety, because you're my friend. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah, thanks. I don't want to drag you or your family into this whole thing anyway. That's a bit too dark.
My family live in this mess.
I don't know.
Hello?
Hello?
I think he's.
Damn it. Sorry, guys. Someone keeps trying to call me.
Shall we just take
Can you
5
take
minutes and let Andrea solve that anyway?
Yeah, good
Let's
idea.
take 5 and we'll come back.
Okay.
I think I say I can't remember where we were then when we had to take a short break, but we were in a position where the team was sorting out their shit.
Yeah, Ash had sort of rambled through his apology to Sai. So yeah, so guys, the other day I had this fairly awful woman with a cigar and smoke demons hound me.
Uh-huh.
Apparently some carnival king and carnival queen want our presence.
Uh-huh.
And if not, usual, etc., lots of trouble. I think effectively the powers that be are getting rather upset that one, we're doing stuff, and two, it's us, and we're not, their little pawns, or whatever.
Uh-huh. So I guess we've got some choices.
Do we ever have
Yes.
choices? I mean, there's stuff we could do, but we never do them.
Like what?
I don't know. Just sometimes I think the things we do are just who we are.
So is I guess pissing off the wrong people part of who we are?
I don't know. I think we actually do good stuff and deal with legitimate problems and threats to real people. And if that pisses anyone off, it might be because they're on the wrong side, not us.
Well, I guess depends on whose best perspective thinks whose side is right. Ash, listen. I tried to save you some chicken wings. You look stressed. Why don't you tuck into a few of them, and then we'll tell you all about our adventures in Rick's castle.
Okay.
I think Bear like looks towards Rick specifically.
I kind of already explained some of the fallout from that, but yeah, we went into this place I have where we've been keeping Mr. Zinn. He got out somehow, turned the magic of the place back on me. Things got a little weird there for a time, but we managed to get out of it okay, more or less.
Yeah, more or less. I think Bear has replaced like the the wrapped up notepad paper on her arm with like an actual
Wait.
bandage.
Something weird going on. You all got out and were okay, more or less, but why did Sai then come to my place pretty much bleeding out?
Wasn't that bad?
It was slow, but it was bad.
Yeah, it seems Mr. Mery Andrew found their way into there as well. There was a whole thing with that.
Just
I didn't know Sai was bleeding. It got hectic. My ex, I guess my ex was there, and
XX is in 2 X's ago, or is in no longer your ex?
in the two X's cancel each other out. Yeah, that sort of thing. I hope you stop the bleeding.
Sai still with us?
Yeah.
Not bleeding anymore.
Sorry, man, I didn't realize it.
Oh,
I didn't even
okay.
realize you could bleed like that. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Me neither. I think Mery Andrew might have been eating Sai.
No, it's not his name. Anyway. I mean, it's not.
Oh?
Oh, his real name is Gede, Papa Gede, or yeah. He's ancient. Basically, he's the corpse of the first man who ever lived, I guess.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's what the whole summoning ritual was about.
I don't know. What do you mean?
I mean, with the food, in the cathedral.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lovely fried chicken. Well, a lot of things claim to be the first of everything. I'm sure there's some other mythology who claims to be, I don't know, the first toe that was stubbed by man or something like that. But
Yeah. Maybe that's me. First told stuff by man.
well, that would mean you're very adorable too. Then,
Sorry. I'm terrible at making jokes.
I've always found
I'm-
that it's usually the joke. So here we go. I was trying to make a salient point, and then my mind was like, "No, that's not great. No, stop it, man. That makes no sense. Just keep eating chicken." The point is that it's a force that's your Mery Andrew or your Gate Air Force Corps. It's a thing that's caused problems for people. And what we do is we solve problems, right? Problems that have materially that's happened to people. And maybe there are some bigger sides or powers that be that they're not solving these problems themselves. In fact, they might even be problems for them. But we know it's problems for other people.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. I'm sorry.
Basically, I don't. I'm sorry.
I'm following.
Oh, okay.
Basically, what I'm saying is to hell with any of these sides. We know what we need to do.
We do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You just said you found out who this Mery Andrew Reed is.
Yeah.
They're not taken care of, are they?
Well, no, let's be honest. Mr. Sin is either an issue they just want to brush under the carpet, or potentially is tied to them in some way. And Mery Andrews is Mr. Sin's problem, so if they're going to turn a blind eye to Mr. Sin, they're hell of a going to turn a blind eye to Mery Andrew, right?
I don't think you've got this the right way around, Ash. I'm sorry, but I don't think
Oh.
Mr. Sin is the one with the most power in that relationship.
Oh, really? Oh, because I thought he'd hired Mery Andrew to get the ghosts for him.
No, Mery Andrew or get it. He eats ghosts and spirits, and he takes the young, or I don't know. I know little about what I understand is that he tried to take me out because I probably am something he's scared of. That is what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what I am. And then I'm looking at Bea. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you remember something.
You get like a black face. I don't think she even that registers in her mind. I think she just like moves on to the next point,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think she just says like, well, Mr. Sin and Mery Andrew, they're clearly tied to each other. So, I say, given that they're a threat out there at the moment, they're the ones who immediately need to be taken care of. And if the powers that be care more about whether we do it the right way or the wrong way, then we don't need to care about them until the problem's done.
I think one of the things that has the powers that be against us is that we've not taken care of anything yet. I'm not besmirching us, but someone recently told me that we're headed towards a crossroads. And when we get there, we need to make sure that we've taken care of our demons, or they will take care of us.
Well, fine, let's do it then.
Okay.
And I think as
Sure.
part of our... I mean, we didn't cause these events, but these are our events now, right?
Rick, what about the other things that under control, or?
As much as it can be, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, the powers that be, whatever they are, want our presence. I'm going to go. If you guys are up for coming too, that's cool. If not, that's fine.
Somewhat.
You might need to provide a note from your parents. Like this, or at least tell them, because this is crazy stuff, and I don't want just anything bad coming back on you or them.
Honestly, given the way things have shaken out, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up having to face them or something. I don't know. I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, the powers that be have requested our presence. And if your mums do know even just a bit about what's going on, they'll maybe understand that, and yeah, maybe they'll have good advice for you.
Yeah, they often do.
And what happens if they think that some of us are a threat and should be contained or something?
Then that would probably be a very rash and bad judgment from them.
Well, we don't all have to go before them, right?
I wouldn't say we all have to.
Well, okay then. Maybe.
I'm go.
Yeah. The two of us can go, and before anyone that can make a judgment, she looks at Brick and Sai. The other half of us could be getting the real stuff done.
Hmm.
I think like you do get the sense that like Bea is saying that mostly so she doesn't. She's going with Ash and not going with Sai or Rick.
Rick, you've been really quiet. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about all this magical court stuff or whatever the hell else it is. We can. I mean, I guess if they want to see us, then there's no harm in us going to see them. I don't know what they want out of all this, except for us to stop causing trouble. And hell, I don't know if I can do that if I wanted to.
I think they want fear and obedience, or maybe just to get our measure. They'll Raven and La Femme Pando, those were the names that she used.
Other one.
They're the Carnival King and Carnival Queen.
Really, is she? Weird.
Apparently they're the ones who are in charge of all this.
Well, she knows me. She's talked to me.
Who?
La Femme Padou. She talked to me. I mean, she's the one who's been telling me a lot of stuff. Not all of it, obviously, because who would do that? But I don't know what you've asked. What do they want from us? But maybe we should ask, what do we want from them? What do we want? What is our agenda? I guess.
I want them to back off and let us be. If they're not going to help us fix things, they need to step away and let us fix it. They can't just go to bus stations, magic anyone they please and make demands of us. And they certainly can't send creepy smoke girls around with demon dogs to chase people around the streets. I think part of it goes back to my family. I think they might be scared that I'll do what my dad did.
What?
And become a public hero. And bring attention to what's going on.
Oh, Yeah, that is what the fam asked me about.
What?
Well, not about you, but about if I wanted to step out in the light or keep to the shadows, and I didn't understand half of it. But maybe that's what she wanted to suss out, whether I wanted to be a public hero, which is ridiculous. I am a ghost, basically.
Yeah. Hey, it's not too far-fetched.
Yeah, well.
That's the moment where two hands come down on the table. The chicken wings go everywhere. The drinks are spilled. And Devil Doll looks across at Bea Minerva and says, "You cheating bastard!" And let's flip the cover on.
Sorry, the moment you said that, I was like, wait, no, I know exactly what the excuse Bear's gonna have. Okay.
Let's leave that till next time. So we flip the back page of the comic and into the last pages of the comic, where we can see it's a pool of black water, and black oil is spilled across it. It is at the height of noon, and you can see the sun across the water as the oil unctuously pours. And we see Mery Andrew light a match and throw it down into the oil as fire erupts. And then a face appears and a hand pulls out. And we see the heretic of smoke and shadow pulled forth from the water. And they embrace like brothers. And Mery Andrew says to him, "Our time has come. You can take what is yours, and we will end this cycle of the world." The page turns into our monthly letters page. And it is the Femme Pendo answers all of your questions, and the rest of the page is blank. But let's go to end of session moves, as our characters have got caught up in conspiracies among conspiracies. Ash, as you weren't here last time, why don't you start us off and let us know whether you grew close to the team, grew into your own images yourself, or you grew away from the team?
I think Ash definitely grew closer to the team today. I think one, taking the time to look after and comfort Sai after Sai was injured, then trying to talk through stuff with Rick. And then even just like, I think he's also like very concerned that he feels like after the whatever happened in the Dream Palace, that the team didn't come together and look after each other. I think it's very much, this all is very much tied into his strong care for the team. I think I'd probably say Rick for this session, as much as I think he bonded very well with Sai. The stuff of his grandfather became an impediment in that. So yeah, I'd say he grew closest to Rick this session.
And you've been racking up potential like a good one with all of your failed comfort and support roles today. So do mark your potential. And Rick, which of Ash's labels would you like to move?
Mess with my stats. On you go.
Oh, yeah, this is a tricky one. I think I'm going to... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong... I'm looking at the wrong. What's it? I was just about to start messing with size stats. Yeah, so I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Freak down and Mundane up.
Damn you guys with your earthly concerns.
Yeah.
Bea Minerva, have you stopped growing away from the team?
Oh, I want to mechanically represent very flippantly giving up on that promise by going away from the team. I think, there's a sense of like Bea's like. I think her feelings from last session has not changed. In fact, given that Sherry is now like back in her life, she's not even like almost actively, if not consciously, being pulled away from the team from that perspective. And yes, definitely, I think the influence that will be taken away from her would be size. It just makes sense given what she just gave up.
That makes sense to me. Sai, how about you?
It's a bit difficult because I definitely grew closer to Ash, I think. I definitely did not grow closer to, I don't even have a feeling that this is really a team, so I don't know.
Just a bunch of Sinister Kids.
Yeah, I mean, but I definitely grew closer to Ash, and maybe, I still care about Rick. I don't know about Bea because I can feel that she is, and I know that she's afraid of me, and I don't think she really cares for all of the stuff that we care about, really. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I will take the grow closer thing and say it's Ash. So go ahead and mess with my stats, please. My labels.
I think your danger needs to go up 1. And I'll knock your superior down 1.
Okay. So let's finish off that with Rick.
Yes, so I think I'm going to go for growing closer to the team as well, and once again that will also be Ash, who I think still has influence over me. So yeah, Ash, if you would like to move around my labels.
Oh, right. I think we're knocking your mundane down another chunk.
Probably fair.
And I'm going to knock your danger up as well. Sort of representing, I think, the danger you feel you pose to yourself and others potentially.
Yeah, that's cool.
What could you be capable of?
And for my super special bonus question, I don't think I've taken any steps towards dealing with my doom this session, so I will mark a point of doom.
So many doom track.
How many doom you on?
I have 3 doom signs, and I am on a doom of 2.
And how do we make you explode like a glorious firework?
5 doom, I think it is.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6. I forget how many. But yeah, 5 or 6 doom. I think it's the 6th doom sign is the one that ends it.
then your
Actually, no,
doom
yeah.
comes.
When your doom track fills, clear it and take one of your doom signs. And yeah, it's the 6th doom sign that destroys you, right?
Yep. I mean, technically, obviously, you can choose it earlier, but yeah, by the 6th one.
Okay. So let's move into a stars and wishes to close down this session. If we're okay, probably just got about 5 minutes over tonight. David, can I ask you to start with a star?
Yeah, no stars around. I thought it was a good fun session. It was nice to see some like little bits and pieces of scenes with everyone. It was again, it was really cool to see Ash with their family was really cool. I like that a lot. And I really like the scene between Ash and Sai. That kind of that little exchange was really nice. And yeah, it was. I liked as well seeing kind of Sai going off and doing their own thing and interacting with the other ghost was awesome. That was a really nice moment. And yeah, just seeing more of sort of Bayer's like messing with powers that man was not meant to mess with is always good. That little moment with the cat spirits and all of those little just like cutaway moments with her and Cherry again were great. So yeah, no, thank you very much, everyone. That was very good fun.
Cool. Thank you. Sabine?
Yeah, stars are around. First biggest star for the end scene, Devil Dog showing up and smashing a table. That was unexpected, and I think it will catapult us into a very nice confrontation next time. And then, of course, stars to all the players for Rick with his doom hanging over him, and I really felt it this time, like he's feeling it too, like it's becoming more real. And to Bea for messing with things she shouldn't mess, for making promises, yeah, sure, of course, and getting into over her head. So, yeah, if this was Pasión de las Pasiones and she was the empleada, she would be so much in over her head all the time. Yeah, and Ash is just lovely to see Ash take charge for anything, everything, and push people to do the right thing, please. Now, I like that. So yeah, that's my stars.
Thank you. Leandro?
Yeah, I really appreciated the slower pace, especially last week's breakneck, all the feelings trapped in the castle vibe. This is more like that. Well, we let the feelings out. Oh no, they suck. Well, no, they don't suck. They're actually really nice, given that everyone besides Bear got closer to Ash, who was sorely missed. We would have gotten this bad if he was here last week. So
it was to get that bad.
Yeah, it would have gotten this bad for sure, and it's evident given the bonding moments he had with Sai and with Rick. Shout out to Rick's Hotel Hell shenanigans. And showing up in Ash's doorstep in that attire, which is good. I do love that. Yeah, that little detail of like, yeah, everyone else. Well, some folks have a place to go to. Rick's like gonna cool off by stealing someone's hotel key. And yeah, that talk with Ash was lovely, and Sai as well for people accidentally breaking their heart. Not that like that Ash's granddad being all rude to them.
My racist granddad.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ash apologizing for that, and I did love I mean we it's always neat to see Sai go off like on their own, trying to figure out like last time it happened they met Sherry, and this time they met a really cool ghost and got a lot of lore. It's always nice to see that. And yeah, David, thanks. Other David, called Dave. Yeah, there we go, Dave. Always love the texture you bring to these NPCs. Those cats were amazing. I really like the chat of like Apollo, just like, or yeah, I think it was Apollo. Right? Yeah, telling Ash like, you gotta step up, um, that sort of thing, and yeah, that last, um, but yeah, there's always like a really lovely, rich texture to even just the way you like voice these NPCs. So it's really nice. And that last panel is a hoot. Imagine it's just like a big page splash. There's probably like the last couple pages like this like tense 9-panel grid of these kids talking amongst this table, and then you turn the page, bang, there's Devil Doll, which is just great. Looking forward to next week for sure.
Awesome. And where are we? And Andrea.
Yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed listening to last week. In all honesty, like, I don't feel bad at all about not being there. You guys needed to suffer to realize how much you appreciate me. But yeah, tonight was great. Big call outs go to the utter audacity of Rick to just decide, yeah, I'm just going to crash a hotel. It's cool. And not even just like going to crash there, like maybe have a quick wash and a half-hour nap, but just stay there till people turn up. And then be like, my bad. Oh, like, it's just brilliant. Bea, just the whole cats thing was just weird and brilliant. Like, the just idea of just trying to feed your problems to cats is just magical and wonderful. And I really enjoyed it when Sai went to the graveyard and got advice from the old dead ghosts. Like that, I think more than anything, sort of really felt like the kind of core of the kind of stuff I want from this game. Like that was just really sort of good, almost like New Orleans style urban gothic. And it was also just, it's actually quite nice that, like most of the characters have their own places away from the team where they can try and figure stuff out, and Sai doesn't have that, but is still able to find it by looking.
It's the graveyard. It's pretty appropriate for a ghost.
Yeah, you just might know. It's like, oh, where did I come from? I'll go home. But no, it's just really good. I enjoyed it all. Missed you guys.
Awesome. And I love like just the little nuances of people describing things in the comic book style, or describing a panel, or adding things in tonight. That was awesome. Clearly, one of the strong themes of Masks is the world telling you who you're supposed to be, which we are hitting in a very different way in this game. But hitting you react against that as you're starting to go. We ain't going to be told what to do. I'm waiting for the finale, which will probably be like the end of Grease, right? That's what's going to happen with the song, dance, music number. Let's go for back wishes in reverse order. Andrea, have you got any wishes that you want for next, penultimate session next time? You'd like to hit
stuff that I would love to see hit. Like I'm all for going to, like, is there an official term for these people? Like the Carnival King, Carnival Queen, like whoever's wanted our presence.
I've called them the council so far.
Yeah, the council. Yeah. Just totally want to go to the council, and I'd say resolve some stuff, but I think it's just going to create more shit than it resolves. And I'm really interested in seeing where the Mery Andrew and now the Sun Eater stuff goes. Like, I'm just for like barreling through the trajectory we're on and seeing how it all plays out. Oh, one small little thing, I guess, is maybe for the Black Dog to call in some favors, especially since we seem to keep causing trouble in the place.
Absolutely. When I figure out what that favor is, I'll be sure to call it in.
Just, overcomplicate stuff.
More complication? I could try. Leandro?
Yeah, I think I'm down for anything that happens. I think the main thing I do want to hit is like we finally figured out Bea's arc, which is like unlike everyone else here, she did choose, and I think I want to hit that really hard. I know last week I said no, let's rebuild the team, but next time I do want like some of the not the team, but like for her, like you know, her being able to like drop this and just be normal to be kind of like called out. Um, um, to quote Donnie Darko, sometimes I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion / the Sinister Kids. So I think that's kind of like the bit I want to hit.
Is that you want me to sort of poke at, or we want to poke at? You can't go back, or that is that or that she'd never choose to go back? What? Give me some more.
I think yeah. I think I want to see her do have to make the choice. I guess it's less going back to being normal and more like because right now she's being pulled away from the team. Much like the Friday masks, Jesus Christ. But for completely different reasons. But I think I think the choice I want to see her like have to like figure out is her commitment to this team specifically. Given that she's so adrift now from Sai and to a lesser extent from Rick. And like unlike the you get the sense that like these kids kind of banded together because they had like the shared experience of not getting to choose about being a part of this. Bea's like the outlier. She's always the outlier. Every time folks talk about, especially in this session, talk about not having a choice, they always have to add that, except for Bea. So I think I kind of want to poke at that and just see if she will commit herself to these people.
Cool. I don't think I've got to tell you guys and folks as role players, but I think it's perfectly valid at the end of an arc that the team doesn't stay together, right? We don't have to super friends it up. Sometimes people do. You can get we all
Sometimes
worked
people
it
get their
out
own
just in
spin-off
the
comic.
end. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I plan to go off and have a much hotter team in Halcyon City.
Sabine, any wishes?
Yeah, I really want to go off and do this crossroads thing. Because I mean the ghosts said do it, and I think yeah, sure. What? Why would this be a bad idea? Really, Ghost said it was a cool thing. I also would love to see this council thing play out, and I would like to see more Rick and the Doom coming closer and maybe manifesting a bit more. And also, I would like to roll more. That's a pretty selfish wish, but I got to roll, I think, twice. And I don't know, but I would like to roll more. Because dice are neat.
Okie dokie. David?
Nothing big really. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where things come out. It would be kind of cool to get some to see more of the vampires next time or in the final session. But seeing as we've got Devil Doll smashing up our table, I think that's likely to come about anyway. Other than that, I don't think. I mean, one of the things which is not an anti-wish, but a kind of thing that I'll kind of mention is, like I said, I think it's highly unlikely, unless things really go off the rails, that my doom manifesting is going to be like an actual threat. But I also don't see that as a problem. I've enjoyed what I've got so far, and like you have to really cane it to get that doom like a tangible threat in 8 sessions or 7 sessions or whatever of actual play we've had. So I think that's. But I have had a lot of fun with what I've got out of the Doomed playbook.
I was sort of feeling that we put it at least literally back in its box last time with you. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, say and then there's another bad guy in the crescendo, but I think you've got that under control, and it's that choice angle which I feel that you're leaning into now. But strike me if I'm wrong there, David. If you want to have a big showdown,
no. No, I was going to say no. It feels good at the sort of the point we've got it at. So that was kind of exactly. That's kind of why I wanted to flag up. I don't feel like I would be robbed if I don't have like a final showdown, because, like I said, I just don't think that's naturally a point we're going to get to.
Cool. Okay. I think we've got probably. I have a feeling. I imagine you have a feel how the merry roller coaster we're likely to go on to in the next 2 sessions is likely to take us. Thank you as always. I love your macabre dysfunction, and we will end issue 5 here, and I'll see you same time next week for issue 6.